This is assignment 6, sine and cosine values with reference angles. So before we even start, I hope you have memorized the first quadrant, the angles in the first quadrant, and the values of sine and cosine in the first quadrant. Okay? Now, given any angle, so you can look at the picture here, watch what I'm doing over here. If I give you any angle, whatever that angle may be, so here's the XY plane, and let's say this is my angle right here, okay? There it is. The reference angle is going to be the smallest positive acute angle. The angle is formed by the terminal side and the horizontal x-axis. In other words, just look at the visuals here, which I'm about to walk through. The one I'm drawing here, this angle here, theta, the reference angle is this angle right here, okay? That angle right there is the reference angle because that's the smallest positive angle the terminal ray makes with the x-axis, all right? It's going to be an angle between 0 and 90 degrees. So let's go through the 4 individual images here. If your terminal side is in the first quadrant, then that reference angle is this angle right here that is made with the x-axis and that terminal side. So again, it'd be between 0 and 90 degrees. Sorry, I'm telling you what we were supposed to memorize. All right, so if you're in the first quadrant, again, this would be your reference angle. If you're in the second quadrant, like I was in the image there, this would be your reference angle. Third quadrant, this would be your reference angle. Fourth quadrant, this would be your reference angle. Now, if you keep in mind that this is 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, well, guess what? If you're in this quadrant, 180 minus the angle is going to be the reference angle. Or if you're working with pi, pi minus the angle would be the reference angle. If you're in the third quadrant, guess what? This is your angle is larger than 180, so you would be subtracting 180 from it. Your angle minus pi, your angle minus 180. In the fourth quadrant, since this is your reference angle, well, you're now approaching 360 degrees, right? So 360 minus the angle would be your reference angle. You're going to get used to it, but we want to know our reference angle, and that's one reason why in this quadrant here, we have sine and cosine memorized, because our actual sign, S-I-G-N, of our trigonometric function is going to depend upon the quadrant we're in. Moving on. Our first example, we have an angle of 225 degrees. Well, we need to know what quadrant we're in, and 225 is between 270 and 180, and that's why I told you have these main angles, quadrant angles, memorized. 90, 0, or 360. You never know which one you're going to work with, all right? But 225 is between these two quadrant angles. Well, here's the smallest positive angle the terminal side makes with the x-axis. So we're going to take 225 minus 180, and we get 45 degrees. So 45 degrees is our reference angle. And guess what? I know that for 45 degrees, cosine of 45 degrees is the square root of 2 over 2. Well, guess what? Since this is the reference angle, cosine of 225 degrees is not necessarily square root of 2 over 2 because we haven't captured the sign, but x is negative in the third quadrant. Cosine is related to x, right? We didn't say cosine was x. Cosine is related to it. So I know that cosine, let me clean that up, cosine of 225 degrees is a negative square root of 2 over 2 because I memorized the first quadrant. Moving on. I'm being asked to find a reference angle of 130 degrees. So the first thing I need to know is really what quadrant I'm located in. So once again, I've memorized 0, 90, 180, 270, and I also have that first quadrant memorized, right? So I have all these memorized, and again, 360 comes into play. 130 lies somewhere up in here. 130 lies in the second quadrant, quadrant 2. So this is 130. Well, here's the smallest angle the terminal side makes with the x-axis. Okay, smallest positive angle. So I'm going to get the reference angle by taking 180 and subtracting 130, and I get 50 degrees. Now, I personally don't know what sine or cosine of 50 degrees is, so we'll leave it alone. But if I did, I would know that the cosine is negative and the sine value is going to be positive because I'm in the second quadrant. We'll deal with that later, okay? But reference angles can help us in terms of identifying the value of the sine and cosine functions for various angles. And again, the quadrant, the terminal side follows in helps us to determine the sign. Okay, I'm going to give you the big picture right now. Here's the big picture. I have a circle, okay? If you know the values of sine and cosine in the first quadrant, then you will also know the values of sine and cosine for any other angle. Now, I really should put this in quotation marks because really the only thing we don't know is what the actual sign is, positive and negative. That depends upon the quadrant, all right? So when it comes down to it, you better have this first quadrant memorized, and you also better have the quadrant angles memorized, okay? Because let me just show you. If I look at this angle here, 210 degrees, okay? There we go, 210 degrees. The reference angle is 30 degrees. There's the reference angle. Notice that for 30 degrees, cosine is the square root of 3 over 2. But over here, cosine is negative square root of 3 over 2. Why? Because we're in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, x is negative, so cosine is negative. If I look, sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. Well, sine of 210 degrees is minus 1/2 because, again, in the third quadrant, y is negative, and the sine of y is associated with the sine of the sine function. That's the idea. And so that's why the things I highlighted here, you really have to memorize. And again, not just degrees. I often talk in terms of degrees, but pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, etc. Memorize it. You got to. All right? Let's look at two problems here. Using reference angles, let's determine the exact value of the functions given below. Sine of 11 pi over 6 and cosine 11 pi over 6. Now we'll take note that 6 is an important denominator because if you remember the first quadrant, right? there was a special angle, and that was pi over 6 over here, right? Right? So that pi over 6 is going to be related to this. Now, what is the reference angle? Well, we need to know what quadrant we're in. So if you kind of think about it, this is pi, and this is really 6 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6 is way past there. Well, this is 2 pi, which is really, what? I'm sorry, 12 pi over 6. I was drawing a blank there for a second, trying to think ahead. Okay, so if you think about it, 11 pi over 6 is going to be in this quadrant here. That's where 11 pi over 6 is going to be. So the reference angle is pi over 6. So now we know the, quote, magnitude of sine, because for pi over 6, sine is 1/2. For cosine, pi over 6 is the square root of 3 over 2. But since we're in the fourth quadrant, sine has the same sign as y, which is negative. Cosine has the same sign as x, which is positive. So we know that sine of 11 pi over 6 is negative 1/2. Cosine 11 pi over 6 is positive square root of 3 over 2. Our next one. We want to express sine of 4 pi over 3 in terms of the sine of a positive acute angle. Well, again, where is 4 pi over 3? Well, this is pi. And if I put a denominator 3 here, this is 3 pi over 3. Okay? So 4 pi over 3 has to be over here. Okay? It's got to be here because another 1/3 rotation is less than 1/2 of a rotation. So we know we're in the third quadrant. And we know that the reference angle is going to be pi over 3. Okay? Now, the only question is, what is the sign? Well, in the third quadrant, y is negative. We're working with sine, so that is going to be a negative sine pi over 3. Now, this is what they want for the answer here, because they said express in terms of the sine of a positive acute angle. Here's our positive acute angle. There's sine, but the thing is, remember, that's what I've been telling you. You're going to get the value of sine possibly. You never know what particular problem, but in general, working with these key angles in the first quadrant and determine that sine here is based upon what quadrant you're in. But also your reference angle is determined by what quadrant, right? You always draw a visual. Always draw a visual. So numerically, let me just tell you, that is negative the square root of 3 over 2, because I memorized sine of 60 degrees. Sine of pi over 3 is the square root of 3 over 2. And our third quadrant, it has to be negative. Well, this brings us to the end of section 6, sine and cosine values with reference angles. See you soon.